Yep, and welcome
I took
back.
Christmas lights down at a hockey player's house.
Oh, nice. Which hockey player?
Yeah. It's confidential.
Seriously?
It's not. I don't know. I can't remember his name.
Not even a famous one?
He
There's
was. There was. I don't know. He was like a
there's a
defenseman or something.
famous hockey player in Canmore.
Yeah.
And we worked on a deck beside his house, and he was just always out
Yeah.
talking to us, real nice guy. And he owns a car wash in town because he needs to use his money somewhere. So he invested, I guess. And
Yeah.
every time I go to that car wash, which is like not even too often, I washed my truck once and my girlfriend's car once. But every time I'm there, he's just like, "Hey man," doesn't even know my name. He's just like all happy and waving, like nicest guy in the world.
That's awesome.
But yep. Okay, we both work by cool hockey players. Next. Actually, really interesting topic that I want to talk about. China's ghost cities.
Okay.
When I say that, what is that? What do you think? What
Uh,
do you?
Cities full of ghosts.
No, come on.
No, like an abandoned city, like a ghost town, but like
Yeah.
a full fucking city.
But it's not what you think because they are actually completely empty and have never been populated. So this is actually something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know. This is something that I discovered when I was in university, and we were doing I can't even remember what the project was about, but we kind of went from like abandoned Olympics infrastructure and discovered that this is a thing in China where they build cities before people move into them, and then nobody moves into them.
Are they like they're like full blown like full
You
infrastructure?
should see some of the
like-
pictures. Dude, they are
Yeah.
not even like, oh, skyscrapers, like legitimate. There's like replicas of Wall Street, like built into these cities where like it's supposed to be the new biggest trade center of the world. Nobody lives there. There's like these massive temples built out of like jade and gold trim and like huge staircases. Nobody's ever been in there. And you're allowed to
Why?
go there. Like you're allowed to be there. It's open. They have traffic lights that function. They've got all these neon signs that are lit up and stuff. But the malls are empty. The streets are empty. Nobody lives there. Nobody even really goes there. And it's like, what? Like in a country so busy as China? This blew my
Mhm.
mind. This was just like, I don't understand it. So back when I was in university, I did some research, but I also kind of checked up on a couple things. But basically, like, China's kind of working in the opposite direction as the like Canada or something, I guess. And I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on all of this information, but basically in Canada, people are moving away from the cities because they're like, oh, like rural life, and they're going to go live outside the cities and commute into the cities and stuff, right?
Okay, yeah, kind of like live in suburbs and shit.
Yeah, live in suburbs, or like a lot more people are living on acreages now, like not even, sorry, yeah, like living on an acreage while not owning a farm, because that's what it used to be. If you didn't live in town, you lived on a farm, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, in China, they're seeing like this mass rush of people to the cities, to urban
Mhm.
centers. And it's basically like when North America hit urbanization however many years ago, they're seeing that kind of mass flow right now.
Oh yeah.
So there's a couple theories that say like, oh, well, like so this mass urbanization push is why they started building all these cities to prepare for all these people that want to live in cities. And there's a lot of things wrong with that theory. But then another really interesting theory that I think is a little more correct is that China is basically looking to provide jobs for all of its people because it's very
Okay.
overpopulated. And
It's got a lot of people there, yeah.
the construction industry is one of like the biggest industries in China. It's also one of the most one of the most advanced construction industries in the world, because I saw this. What?
I think I know where you're going with this.
Okay.
Yeah. They're basically building cities so that people have jobs to build cities.
Well, potentially they're just keeping people busy, but they're providing. It's kind of weird. It's like a loophole in the economy. So it's like, we're booming right now, like all of these new buildings and people have jobs, unemployment is at a low and all these people are working. But then they say it's, what is it? I had this written down. This construction fuels their economy because it gives people money and all of this to go out buy things, fuels their economy. But it's financed by debt, because whoever, the Chinese government or whoever is paying for these cities, obviously cannot afford to build multiple ginormous cities that stay empty. Right?
Yeah.
Bizarre.
Like the economy they get from the workers isn't enough to have like empty plots of city.
Yeah, but that's the
with
other
working
thing. Is
streetlights, like
I don't understand. Well, that's one thing. I don't understand who's paying the electrical bill for the freaking streetlights.
I was gonna say, like from the sound of it, like it's maybe not upkept, but it's like got like things work there.
Well,
right?
that's the other
like
thing is, yeah, it is
upkept.
upkept.
Like, that's what
like,
you're saying.
Yeah, there's like security guards there. There's I don't know about cleaning services, but like it's people run the city, but nobody lives there.
That's where I'd think they'd lose their money.
The one thing I was getting at,
but I don't know shit. So
is China's construction industry and technology is mind blowing. I watched a video where they basically assembled, not even built, they assembled this skyscraper that was some 100 stories or probably like 70 stories.
Okay. What do you mean assembled, not built?
Just listen.
Like you have to build it.
Yeah, okay. They built it, but just in 2 weeks, they built this like 70-story skyscraper. Like something that would take the guys in Edmonton like 2 years to do. And just the way they did it, it all came prefabbed from a factory, and basically like each level of the, and it was I think it was multiple floors. It was like 2 stories came in a box on massive trucks, and like 3 cranes lifted it up, drop it on the building. And they just did that, and as they went up, guys are inside finishing, and boom, 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 2 weeks later, massive building. And so that technology is another reason why they're able to just pump out these buildings. And they say one of the things you'll notice is all the buildings look the same because they're all prefabbed, like cookie cutter skyscrapers.
See, now I don't know, because I'm literally just pulling this out of my ass, but like the reason it takes Canadian skyscrapers so long is maybe like a little bit of like safety code and shit.
That's, yeah, for sure.
Like while you're building up, like don't build in. Like I don't know what the safety codes are.
No, they do, but yeah, it's different.
You know.
Yeah, and I don't know everything about this, but it's just crazy to think like the difference in scale. So then I stumbled across an even more mind-blowing fact, because think about how crazy it is that there's 2 ghost cities in China. Like 2 of these cities that are meant to host at least 1 million people. So we're talking like the size of Calgary. And like that's mind-blowing, right? Across China, there's actually more than 50 of these cities, 50, that they're already built, that are completely uninhabited. You remember how Dad was all talking about, we're gonna run out of sand, everybody's worried about oil and stuff, but the world's actually going to run out of sand. Do you remember he was talking about that? So basically, like,
No.
there's deserts and stuff, but that's not really feasible to take that sand and get it to a plant where they can turn it into concrete, where it can. So all of these places that are close enough to make concrete out of the sand, those places are completely stripped of sand. There's no more sand left.
Oh yeah.
China is one of those places where there's just zero sand left, like in a gravel pit. Those kinds of things don't exist. It's like you got to go to the desert. You know how like we ship coal and very valuable resources on trains? They're going to start shipping sand. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, that's what it could come to.
I feel like,
hey, go out to the desert, ship us some sand.
The Chinese government needs to just like rent them out to Hollywood, and they
that's
could go
the thing,
film
is, like,
movies. That'd be cool. It's like you got like a big set already built, like a full city set. Go blow it up. You're like, shit, like, that'd be cool. I'm not saying bomb China. That's not what I'm getting at. But I mean, like, you know
even
what I mean?
thinking about it right now, I just don't understand why there's so much built for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
To go one level deeper, this is hilarious. There are technically people living in those cities, but there's like 100 people living in this city meant for 1 million. So there's this one video, and it's like these 8 or 10 like Chinese grandmas just doing yoga in the middle of this park, and there is nobody around. Just nothing.
Dude, that's crazy. I'm gonna have to look this up.
Watch some videos. I
just want to see some videos and pictures, like.
And I don't know
weird.
when it kind of started.
Like a massive like paintball tournament.
Well, yeah, like that would be so cool, right? All kinds of things. But I don't know when it started, but this is like a while ago that these started popping up, and they're still going. I don't know what for. It's bizarre.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And to think like places like, well, I mean all around the world, but places like Alberta where, yeah, there's ghost cities because the economy, or not ghost, there's ghost towns, is what I meant to say. Because the economies in those towns crash, or the mines close, or the mill shuts down, or whatever, right? And they get abandoned. But in China, they're literally just like, there's nothing here but a massive city. Come. And I think that could be part of the issue too, because like, whatever, there are people living there, I get it, but imagine like they're trying to coax you to come to this new city, and you're just like, okay, where's the grocery store? Oh, nobody works at the grocery store yet. You know, like, where's the bank? Oh, there are no bankers living in the city to work at the bank yet. Like, no one wants to be the first one there because there's nothing there.
I wonder what the housing market is. It's probably dirt cheap.
But then if you think about
go rent a penthouse for like $400 a month. Guys,
if
I'm
you
moving
think
to
about
China.
other cities in China, and I don't know a bunch of facts, but I've seen videos of how crazy overpopulated China's cities are. Mm-hmm. I just can't believe people wouldn't leave that to go to these other vacant cities that they have built, because it's just mind-blowing. And then you could probably conspiracy theories out the yin-yang about how, oh, they're really just built over top of their supermassive military base, or, oh, they're a cover-up for this, or blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
but
that's always fun.
Still, just think about 50 cities built for 1 million people each. Just empty. Let's go crazy. Get hot rods and just go race down the streets there.
Let's go Tokyo drift it in China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
What do we have for time?
15 minutes.
I'm so tired.
Oh boy, you gotta come up with something interesting to say.
I know.
I don't remember if I talked about this on the podcast or if this was just something I was telling you, but kind of going off of that. Yeah, I did talk about this on the podcast. The guys who were on a motorcycle tour and they went to abandoned mines.
Yeah,
You remember that?
I do.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
it's
I
like
need you to say
I
something
don't
so that I could have something to say.
I don't remember like the facts about it, and I don't know where it is, but there's this culture of this yeah, I think it was like this like group of people like this long time ago, but they had like underground cities built out of just like tunnels. So it went like they lived like in the ground. They went like however many stories deep. Like it wasn't just like they went like underground. Like there was like levels of stories to this,
Right.
and they just like lived underground.
I don't know why. I feel like
remember.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, you might have. Like it's. I'm pretty sure it's a real thing, but like I don't know. I'm too tired.
That kind of reminds me about the one thing I heard about. I think it was on a Joe Rogan podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a guy talking about ancient civilizations in the middle of the Amazon. What?
I was in a taxi one time, and the driver was like, "Hey, you like Joe Rogan?" I was like, "Yeah, I listen to his podcast sometimes." He's like, "Oh, sick," and just like put on a Joe Rogan podcast.
No way.
I was like, "All right, that's
taxi ride?
sick." I don't know, like 10 minutes.
So this guy was talking about ancient civilizations in the Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what he said was these I don't remember how exactly they came to discover it, but these very first explorers went over whatever year and trekked through the Amazon and found all of these ancient cities and stuff. Oh, I remember how it works. Sorry. No, back up. Rewind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
New technology. I don't know if you've seen it's some kind of Discovery TV show about what's on the bottom of the ocean, but they can now like scan or sonic wave and get like the contours of the bottom of the ocean. They're like, oh, hey, there's a tank, and oh, there's a sunken ship, and
Okay.
heard about that? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they started doing stuff like that over like the Amazon rainforest. And they're like, whoa, like there's structures here. Like you can tell there's a building, there's a roadway, like they figured it out. And basically
Mm-hmm.
the idea is that there was at one time about 20 million Aboriginals inhabiting the Amazon rainforest, which is
Mm-hmm.
a climate and habitat today that we deem to be like uninhabitable based on its whatever, the dense jungle and the sketchy alligators. Well, I don't know. Nobody lives in the Amazon. That's my point.
Okay.
Not too
people do
many
live
people.
in the Amazon. Yeah.
I know. But anyways, so the idea is that, or the theory, the very, very first explorers came trekking through the jungle and were like, whoa, like there's crazy cities here. This kind of makes me think of like Road to El Dorado, the kids movie.
Dude, that was literally just what I was thinking of.
So like they
I was
saw
just
all
gonna
of this.
say it.
They
Mhm.
saw all of this and they're like, whoa, like crazy. They go back to England or Spain or wherever, and they're like telling people like, there's these crazy civilizations out in the jungle, massive temples, whatever. And it's not till about 100 years later that like the actual whatever Spanish explorer dudes go to South America and like start recording stuff, and that's like the recorded history that we know. And they go through there and there's just nothing. And they're like, these guys were like, what were they trying to sell us? Like 100 years ago, they had no idea what they're talking about, blah, blah, blah. And basically, those first explorers carried some kind of disease through the Amazon that literally wiped out the entire population.
Mhm.
And then, within
I believe
less
it.
Yeah,
sort of.
right. Within less
I
than
mean, it's
100
believable.
years. It is believable. But within less than 100 years, the lush rainforest just took everything over with nobody there. And it looked like
Mm-hmm.
nothing was ever there when the next guys went through.
Well, I thought like in like social class or whatever, we learned about like the Spanish coming over, and they would like just like, actually maybe this wasn't social class, but it's like, isn't it believed that there's like cities of gold and shit, right?
Oh,
that
yeah.
the Spanish would like steal, and the ships would sink, and then
Yeah, and we learned
no more
about this
gold.
actually I learned about it in a history class in university. And
Mm-hmm.
so this is the recorded history that I'm talking about that would have been 100 years later. And it is, yeah, there's Spanish explorers, the conquistadors or whatever, and they go over and there's a bunch of these Aztecs, which is who we know like to be the South American
Mhm.
natives or whatever. But that's like in portions, I don't know if it's coastal areas or what, but
There's
that's
some-
like portions of the Amazon. But this is talking about like 20 million people like
Oh yeah.
inhabiting the entire rainforest. So I think what we know is a portion of what is actually or what may have actually been true based on these crazy scan things that found cities buried beneath the Amazon.
Gotcha. Did
Crazy.
you get a phone call? Why'd your screen go dark?
Told me that I have only 20% battery left,
Oh no.
but that's okay.
Guess we better wrap it up.
Holy, you're just not in the mood this week, eh?
I was so tired.
Yeah, I hear you, man. But we're killing it. That was a very fact-filled, somewhat interesting episode. Let me try and
If
find a
anybody
quote
wants
real
to
quick.
go be treasure hunter and find some gold with me, hit me up.
Oh yeah, that was what I was going to
Let's go
touch
find
on
some
from
gold.
last episode. Last episode, when you're like out of nowheres, is Atlantis a real place? I was just like, yes, dedicate your life to it, and we kind of moved on. Or dedicate your
Yeah.
life to finding it is what I said. But I was thinking about that too. I don't even know the story of Atlantis. Like I know it was a Disney movie or something a while ago, but
Yeah, so
I
it
would
was like
love to
this-
read more about that.
There's lots about it, and it's all obviously like theory because no one knows.
Yeah.
But it was like this like civilization that was like light years ahead of its time.
Oh, and it was
And-
underwater.
No,
Oh, okay.
it wasn't.
Never mind.
But like
I'm
yeah,
thinking
they
of
were
the
like
Star
this
Wars
super
village.
super yeah,
Where,
that's
Where what's his name is from? Jar Jar.
Jar
Binks.
Jar Binks. It was like yeah, it was like the super like head of its time civilization.
Mhm.
They were like super powerful and whatnot, and then I don't know, something happened and the city sunk and
Oh yeah.
nobody knows. Like they don't even like. There's like guesses on where it might be or where it could be. How it like could have been like. I don't know where the Sahara is. Is the Sahara by like water?
No, it's a desert.
I don't know. Anyways, yes, but like some deserts.
I
go
mean,
to
yeah, it's,
coastlines.
I guess parts of it. Yeah, parts of it. are by
Anyways,
the
so
ocean,
some ideas of it is that it was on a coastline that sunk and then sand blew over it, and like now it's not even
Ah.
underwater, it's under sand. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know. There's a bunch. Watch the Disney movie.
Coming
They tell
next
you where
episode.
it is.
Really?
No.
Oh.
You kind of look like the guy from Atlantis sometimes.
I also
you like-
thought.
You like do
What?
like the curtain bangs with like some round glasses on. You could be the guy in Atlantis.
I'll
and the-
put a picture on the podcast. I don't know if you've seen it or not, Jake, but when I was living with Swifty,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was him or Bobby Boucher who said that I look like Flynn Rider from the newer Rapunzel
Tangled,
movie. Or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah. And so I found a picture of Flynn Rider, and I did my hair like him, and I posed like him, and I put them side by side. And I mean, yes and no, but it's pretty funny, the resemblance. I'll put it on here.
All right.
Uh,
Okay, what's your quote? My camera's probably gonna die.
oh my goodness. Okay.
Or is it
Here's a
run out of
quote.
things?
Here's a quote that's only related because we talked about gold and
Okay.
time. Okay. No amount of money has ever bought a second of time. Tony
That's
Stark.
like, yeah. Oh, what? Tony Stark.
I don't know if I put that down when I wrote the quote down, but
Well, I'm pretty sure it's like said in a movie, but
I think it is, yeah. I kind of like
I don't know if
that
he came up
because
with it, but yeah.
everybody,
No,
I mean, it's
yeah.
hard to...
Not really. Like you know, it's like like a balanced life, I guess, like work and play. You either work and have all this money but like no time to do anything with it, or you know.
for sure. I was just thinking of
That's
that.
what I get
But
from it.
my other thing is like I guess I'm a little bit like not greedy, but like I want the things that I want to spend my time on, I tell myself I can't afford. Like I want to build a project truck, a big like hot rod truck. But the time that I think about having to take to save that amount of money just completely gets me down on ever wanting to do that project. But then I think about it in another sense of just like the authenticity of enjoying every second, and yeah, no amount of money can ever compare to that.
Plus, lots of people don't just like go full balls to the wall. They like save up, buy a truck. Now they don't have any money, so then they save up and then they like buy an engine for it. And then they don't have any money, and then they save up and then they put new suspension on it. And then
No, I hear you.
Like it's not like, oh, I have $40,000, let's build a truck. Like it's over
No.
time.
Yeah, I hear you.
Right?
But the reason I like,
so
this quote is because
don't think big picture. Think long-term
fractions of the
picture.
big picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this quote because basically what it's telling you is to not worry about how much money you have and realize the time that you're given. Because I know some people who are just like, it's, and I'm a little bit like it, but to an extent, but they're just like all about the money. I can't spend this much money. I have to save this money. I have to, and to me, it's just like, there are certain times when that's important, when you have to budget, but there are other times when that can go out the window, and this time, this experience is priceless. I guess it has its circumstances, but
Yeah, absolutely.
thank you, Tony Stark, for that amazing quote. We are Steele and McKoy, and always remember to dot your T's.
Cross your eyes.
Hell yeah, brother.